Hello and welcome back to Daily English Upgrade. I am your guide, and today we have a very special story for you. We will meet a young woman named Kala. This story is a perfect way for you to practice your past simple and your present perfect tenses. You will hear about the specific things Kala did at clear times in the past. You will also hear about the experiences she has collected, the things she has done in her life until now. I want you to listen carefully and feel the rhythm of these two important tenses. This is how native speakers use them in real conversation. If you are serious about improving your English, I want you to try something. Shadow my voice. Repeat everything I say, trying to copy my speed and my sound. This is great practice. Ready? Let us begin. Our story begins in a small town near the mountains. This is where Kala was born and grew up. Kala loved the mountains, she loved the tall trees and the fast rivers, she loved nature, but her town was very small. There were not many jobs, everyone knew everyone. Kala wanted to see the world. She wanted to do something big. Her big dream was to become a wildlife photographer. She wanted to take beautiful pictures of animals and nature. She wanted to show people the beauty of the world. Kala started her journey early. She did not have a fancy camera. She had only a small, old camera that her uncle gave her for her 16th birthday. She took it everywhere. She walked in the forest every afternoon. She waited quietly for hours. She took pictures of birds, small insects, and flowers. Her first pictures were not very good. They were often blurry, not clear, or too dark. She did not let this stop her. She did not stop. She practiced every day. Kala studied photography books from the town library. She watched videos online to learn new techniques. She taught herself about light. She taught herself about composition. When she finished school, Kala knew she needed to move. She needed to be closer to her dream. She needed to be near the big national parks. So at the age of 18, she decided to leave her small town. Her family was sad, but they were very proud of her. Kala moved to a large city near a famous natural reserve. This was a very big change for her. The city was loud and busy. It was very different from her quiet mountain town. She rented a very small room in an old building. The room was not expensive, but it was far from everything. She needed money to buy a better camera and to pay for her small room. So Kala looked for a job. She looked for many weeks. Finally, she found a job in a big hotel restaurant. She worked as a kitchen helper. Her job was to wash plates and clean the floor. It was hard work. It was very tiring. She worked from 6 in the evening until midnight. Every night she came home very late. She only worked at the restaurant for 10 months. She saved every coin she could. She did not buy new clothes. She did not go to the cinema. She did not buy expensive food. Her only focus was to save money for a better camera. She finished her job at the hotel in the summer of the following year. She had enough money. She went to a camera store. She bought a good used camera and a special long lens. This camera was her tool. This camera was her future. After she bought the camera, she changed her life again. She quit her kitchen job. She did not want to work at night anymore. She wanted to use the daylight to take pictures. She found a new job working at a coffee shop. It was much better. She worked from 7 in the morning until noon. This left her afternoons free. Every afternoon, she traveled by bus to the nearby nature reserve. She carried her new, heavier camera bag. She walked many kilometers every day. She spent hours waiting for the perfect moment. She spent hours studying the animals. She took thousands of pictures. Kala has taken thousands of pictures since she bought that camera. She has studied the movements of many different birds. She has waited patiently for the big deer to come and drink water from the lake. She has learned that nature does not wait for you. You must wait for nature. She has also learned that great pictures do not come quickly. She has worked very hard at her new passion. She has missed many dinners with friends because she was in the nature reserve. She has walked in the rain. She has stood in the cold wind. She has never stopped practicing her skill. Because of this constant practice, her pictures became much better. They became very sharp and very clear. She started to understand how to use the light perfectly. She did not just take pictures, she also learned the names of all the local animals and plants. She read books about their behavior. She wanted to know their lives. Kala has read many books about biology and animal life. She has studied the natural world for many years now. This knowledge has helped her to predict where the animals will go. It has helped her to find the best places for her camera. Kala has never been to university. She has taught herself everything she knows. She has used the internet and books to become a true expert. This is very impressive. Let us pause for a moment. You have heard about Kala's start. We use the past simple to talk about specific finished actions. For example, Kala bought a camera. This happened at one time and it is finished. She bought it. We use the present perfect to talk about her experiences and the actions that started in the past and continue to affect her now. For example, Kala has taken thousands of pictures. This is an ongoing experience in her life. It is not finished. She continues to take pictures. Kala now wanted to share her pictures. She wanted the world to see what she has seen. She created a small page on a social media website. She posted her best pictures there. At first, only her family and her old school friends followed the page. She had only 50 followers. It was a slow start, very slow. Kala did not become sad. She just kept posting her best work. She kept walking in the nature reserve. She kept studying. She has never stopped believing in her dream. She has never stopped trying to improve. This persistence is her greatest strength. She decided to focus on pictures of very rare birds. These birds are difficult to find. They are difficult to photograph. This made her work special. She began to get comments on her page. People wrote things like, "Wow, these pictures are wonderful, and I have never seen this bird before." Slowly, her number of followers began to grow, first to 100, then to 500, then to 1,000. Kala felt very happy. Her hard work was beginning to show results. She decided to take a big risk, a very big risk. Kala wanted to be a full-time photographer. She did not want to work in the coffee shop anymore. She wanted her passion to be her job. She wrote a letter to a famous nature magazine in the city. She sent them a folder with 10 of her best pictures. She mailed the letter last November. She felt very nervous after she sent it. She waited. She waited for a very long time. 1 week passed, 2 weeks passed, 3 weeks passed. She did not receive an answer. She thought, they did not like my pictures. It is okay. I will try again. She thought about the next magazine she could write to. But then one day the telephone rang. It was an editor from the Nature magazine, the famous one. He said, "Kala, we have seen your work. We think your pictures are amazing. We want to publish your pictures in our next edition." Kala was so surprised, she dropped her coffee cup. The editor laughed. The editor said, "We also want to offer you a small contract. We want you to work for us as a freelance photographer." This was the day Kala's life changed forever. She immediately said, "Yes, I will take the contract." She finished her job at the coffee shop immediately. She told them, "I am going to be a full-time photographer." Kala's journey has changed her whole life. She has worked for the magazine for almost a year now. She has traveled to many new places. She has met many interesting people. Kala's contract with the magazine was her first big success. She has worked for the magazine for almost a year now. She has traveled to many new places. She has met many interesting people. Her first official assignment, her first official job, was to travel south. The magazine wanted pictures of the large sea birds that live near the cliffs. Kala took a train to the coast. The trip was long, but she felt very excited. When she arrived, she walked along the tall, steep cliffs. She found the nesting place of the birds. She set up her camera and she began to wait. The weather was very bad. It was cold. The wind blew very hard. It started to rain heavily. Kala worked for 3 days in the difficult weather. She protected her camera from the rain. She stayed patient. She watched the birds fly and hunt for fish. On the third day, the sun finally came out. Kala saw the perfect moment. A large sea bird flew down to the water. It caught a fish. It flew back up to the high cliff. It was a beautiful, powerful image. Kala took the picture. She knew immediately that this was the one. This was a great picture. She sent the picture to the editor. He called her immediately. He said, "Kala, this picture is perfect. It is full of drama and feeling. You are a true professional." That picture became the cover of the Nature magazine. It was a very popular edition. Kala's name was on the cover. She felt a huge wave of pride. Her dream was real. Since that first job, Kala has traveled much more. She has been to a hot desert to photograph unique lizards and snakes. She has spent a month in a cold forest, waiting for the wild bears to wake up from their winter sleep. She has climbed high mountain trails to capture the images of very rare flowers. She has learned how to sleep in a tent in the middle of nowhere. She has learned how to cook simple food over a small fire. She has learned how to be comfortable when she is completely alone. Kala has also worked hard to improve her equipment. She has bought 2 new, better cameras. She has invested in strong, weatherproof clothing. She has bought a small, powerful computer to edit her pictures quickly. She knows that to be a professional, you must always be ready. Because of her travels, Kala has become very independent. She does not need much help from other people now. She has met many other photographers and writers. They have shared their stories and their knowledge with her. She has collaborated with a few journalists on special projects. She has taught small workshops for young people who also want to learn photography. Kala has done many things she never thought possible. She has never forgotten the simple rules that helped her start. Let us stop again and look at the tenses we are using. It is important to remember the difference between the past simple and the present perfect. We use the past simple when the time is finished or when the action is completely finished and has no connection to the present. For example, Kala took a train to the coast. She finished this action. The train ride is over. The time is clear. Kala worked for 3 days in the difficult weather. This period of work is over. She is finished with that job. Kala dropped her coffee cup when the editor called. This action happened and finished at one specific moment. Now let us look at the present perfect. We use this to talk about experiences and actions that are still important now or actions that are not yet finished. For example, Kala has traveled much more since her first job. This means she continues to travel now. It is part of her life. Kala has worked for the magazine for almost a year. She started in the past and she is still working for them now. This action is not finished. Kala has learned how to sleep in a tent. This is an accumulated experience. She knows this skill now. Do you see the difference? The past simple is about a time that is closed. The present perfect is about an experience or an action that is open to the present moment. Let us try to practice. I will say a sentence. You think about which tense it is. She was 18 when she moved to the city. Is this past simple or present perfect? It is past simple. The time is finished. She is not 18 anymore. She has not visited Australia yet. Is this past simple or present perfect? It is present perfect. The action is not yet finished. It is something she can still do. It is connected to the present. Kala quit her kitchen job in the summer. Is this past simple or present perfect? It is past simple, the time is specific and finished, the job is over. Kala has climbed high mountain trails. Is this past simple or present perfect? It is present perfect. It is one of her life experiences. It is a general action not tied to a specific finish time. Very good. Keep thinking about these rules as you listen to the end of Kala's story. We know that Kala has achieved a lot. She is a successful photographer, but her journey has not been only about work. It has also been about her personal growth. She has changed the way she sees the world. When she was younger, Kala was quite shy. She did not like to talk to strangers. She stayed quiet in the corner. But her work has forced her to change. She has had to talk to park rangers, to village chiefs, and to hotel managers in different countries. She has needed to ask for permission to enter certain areas. She has had to negotiate prices for small boat rentals. These interactions have built her confidence. She has become a much stronger and more confident person. She has learned that most people are kind and want to help you. She has also found a new hobby. She loves to cook simple meals on her travels. She always carries a small stove and a few spices. She has cooked in the desert. She has cooked on the beach. She has cooked in a tiny cabin in the mountains. She has shared her simple food with the people she meets. This sharing has helped her make many friends. Kala has made friends in many different countries. She has stayed in touch with them using simple messages and video calls. She is always learning something new. She is always growing. But the biggest change is how she sees failure. When Kala was younger, she hated making mistakes. When her first picture was blurry, she wanted to cry. When her first article was rejected, she felt bad for many days. Now she sees mistakes differently. She knows that mistakes are part of the process. She has learned that every mistake is a lesson. When a picture is not perfect, she looks at it and thinks, why is it not perfect? What can I change next time? She knows that a small failure today does not mean a big failure tomorrow. She has changed her perspective, her way of looking at things. She has become truly persistent. This is the secret to her success. Her dream is not finished. Kala is still planning her next big adventure. She is going to travel to a new continent soon. She has never visited Africa. She is now planning a trip to a large wildlife area there. She wants to spend 2 months taking pictures of the large animals. This will be her biggest challenge yet, but she is not afraid. She is ready. Kala is a woman who started with nothing but an old camera and a great dream. She has worked hard. She has faced her fears. She has achieved success. We can all learn something from her story. Kala's journey has changed her whole life. She has worked hard, faced her fears, and become a successful photographer who is now planning a trip to Africa. Let us quickly review the 5 most important new words from Kala's story. Listen and repeat them to improve your memory. 1. Persistence. Persistence means you continue doing something even when it is difficult. You do not give up. Kala showed great persistence when she worked for 10 months washing plates to buy a camera. She kept working. She kept saving. 2. Blurry. Blurry describes a picture that is not clear. You cannot see the details well. Kala's first photos were often blurry because her camera was old and she was still learning. The image was unclear. 3. Reserve. A reserve is an area of land that is protected for wild animals and nature. It is a national park. Kala travels by bus to the nature reserve every afternoon to take her pictures. The animals are safe there. 4. Assignment. An assignment is a specific job or task that someone gives you to do. Kala's first big assignment for the magazine was to photograph the sea birds near the cliffs. This was her first official job. 5. Cliffs. Cliffs are very tall, steep rock faces often found by the sea or in the mountains. Kala worked for 3 days near the tall sea cliffs to take her famous picture. The rocks went straight down to the water. Now let us think about the big lesson in Kala's story. What has she taught us? She has taught us that a big dream requires persistence and small, consistent actions. Kala did not become a professional photographer in one day. She started by taking one blurry picture. She saved one coin at a time. She read one library book after another. She has shown us that every small action is important. If you have a big dream like learning English, you must remember Kala. You must practice one small thing every day. You must read one paragraph. You must listen to one video. You must say one new sentence. If you keep practicing, if you do not give up, you will see a big change over time. You have heard how Kala was a kitchen helper, and now she is a professional photographer. You have heard how she bought a simple camera, and now she has achieved her dream. She is a great example of the power of hard work and self-belief. Now it is your turn, my friend. Think about your own life and your own dreams. What did you do in the past that helped you start learning English? Did you buy a book? Did you start an online course? Tell yourself, I started learning English last year. What have you done so far that shows your progress? Have you watched a whole movie without subtitles? Have you spoken to a tourist in your town? Tell yourself, I have learned over 500 new words. When you can use these tenses, past simple and present perfect, to tell your own life story, you will truly feel that English belongs to you. It will become your own tool for a successful life. I have enjoyed sharing Kala's story with you today. I hope it has inspired you to keep working toward your goals. Do not forget to repeat the new words. Do not forget to practice telling your own story. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in your own great potential. Goodbye for now.